All right, good day and welcome to this particular video. This is a free webinar session that we will be talking about how you can position yourself to be hired even without experience. My name is Taiwo from Constant Consult, and today we are going to have this brief webinar where we'll dive into how you can position yourself to get your dream job even when probably you are just graduating from your college or university, or you are switching careers. So basically we are talking about how you can start afresh without getting to feel left behind because of the world experience. All right, so let's just go straight into it. So the hard truth about hiring: employers are not hiring you because you don't have experience. That's just the truth. And this particular one is probably a myth that you need to break as fast as possible in your mindset. Your lack of experience is not the major reason why you are not being hired. It is because you do not have a clear understanding, a clear comprehension of the value that you are bringing to the table. Listen, if you go into an interview with a mindset of communicating value, of communicating something valuable to the employer, and you let them see beyond what is in your CV, beyond what they might perceive of you, you are going to get this kind of buy-in from them. And essentially we're saying that when you communicate with clarity, when you communicate with value, hiring managers have no choice but to consider you, even if you do not have a real job experience, quote and unquote. Hiring is not charity. Nobody is going to bring you into their company if they don't see what you are going to bring to the table. That's essentially what we're saying. And hiring is risk management. They want to take a bet on you, but they need to be sure that if they hire you, you are going to bring value to the organization. For example, your organization, you're targeting a sales oriented organization. They want to know how you're going to make sales for them. They want to know how you're going to help them to improve their revenue, their bottom line. They want to know how your presence and the skills that you're bringing to the table will help them to boost their revenue. And these are the things that you want to communicate. So how do you actually do this even if you do not have a real job experience, quote and unquote? Okay, so that's what we are going to be talking about in this particular webinar. Okay, so having said that, I would like to say that employers usually ask three major things. They want to know if you have done something similar before. They want to also see evidence. You want to see evidence, and you have to communicate it in your CV. And even while you are interviewing, you want to show them how you've been able to do something similar, even if it's not directly word for word as similar to what you're applying for. So for example, you want to pivot into data analysis. You might have worked in an accounting firm where you've done something similar. You've worked with Excel, Power BI and all that, and now you're looking for a better paying job. You want to stop working at an accounting officer. You found that data analysis is probably going to pay you more. So you can transfer the skills, transfer it by communicating. In my former accounting firm, I was able to analyze a financial statement which showed us loopholes and gaps that helped us to prevent a major loss to tax by evading tax, something like that. So you want to communicate evidence even if you have never had a data analyst role in real life. So that communication shows them that this person is valuable, this person has done something similar before. And finally, you want to justify their decision. You want to make sure that you communicate your value in a way that when they think about it, they know that yes, this person is going to help our organization and not cause damage. So Let's move on and talk about the experience miss. Experience is not the number of years you have worked. It's not about big companies. It's not even about fancy job titles. Your experience is the skill that you have applied, the knowledge that you have put into action, the problem that you have solved, the patterns that you have recognized, and the proof that you can deliver same results to this organization that you are applying to. You might be a fresh graduate and you're just coming out of school, but you have probably been freelancing with an organization, you have been working with them, writing, probably you were doing copywriting, content writing, stuff like that, or you may probably into content creation, and you have gone ahead to upskill, you've taken courses in that same direction. Now, you have not actually had a 9 to 5, quote and unquote, but you have the experience. You've already done something similar. You've already put skill into action. You've already been able to solve real problems. You've overcome real challenges. So, the idea behind experience is that that thing that you think is not, because you were not fully employed, you were not given an employment letter, it can still count as a real experience only if you know how you are going to position it accurately and effectively to your own advantage. Time does not equal value. Proof equals value. Nobody cares if you have worked in all the big organizations in this world if you don't have a proof. You might just be a figurehead, in a big organization that you've not been able to actually solve real problems. You will not be hired over somebody else that has not even worked in a big organization but is able to show proof of how they've been able to solve real problems. For example, you've been working in your mother's shop and you were in charge of inventory management. You know when to reorder, you know how to communicate with suppliers, you know how to track expiry dates, you know how to answer customers. These are real skills. You are solving real problems. Even if you were actually working for your mother or for your uncle in a retail small shop down there in probably Ikeja or somewhere around the world, So these are real things. From this small scenario I just gave you, you can actually put in your CV that you understand customer management, you understand inventory control, you understand profit and loss, you understand, supply chain. These are real skills, these are real problems, these are real, real things that you can communicate, even if you've not had a paid employment. All right, so forget about what people take as experience. If you're a fresh graduate, you are moving into a new career, you must be able to understand some of the things that you've done before that you can transfer into your new career path. All right, so having said that, we also want to say that you need to be able to reframe your communication. I've already spoken something in line of this, and we are saying that you don't lack experience, you only lack packaging. And these are some of the experience that you can actually communicate when creating your CV, when communicating during an interview. You were probably a NYSC documentation officer, you were working as an operations support officer. This is real stuff, this is real skill in play. Even if you were not paid, even if you were not given an employment letter, this is real skill that you can transfer to your new place of employment. All right, so final year project, you can communicate that as research and analysis. You were probably selling in school, maybe you were selling notebooks, stuff like that, things that people need. That is sales and negotiation. Church coordination, stakeholder management. You are managing a WhatsApp group, probably you were a class rep, or you were an ESCO in your school's fellowship, or you were even an ESCO in your faculty. That's community growth. That's community growth and engagement. Ladies and gentlemen, you need to be able to pinpoint these patterns, these things that you've done before, and create them into real skills. And these are examples that you can actually work with, that can help be a game changer, even if you've not actually worked in 9 to 5 before. All right. So all this is all about communication and packaging. Listen to me. In the real world of jobs, in the real world of the corporate, packaging and perception wins over poor representation. You might have all the experience in the world. If you don't know how to package it to create the right perception for your employers, you're not going to get the job. You're not going to get your foot in the door. This life is all about packaging. All right. So now, having said that, we are not also saying that you should lie about what you've not done before. We're saying that what you've done before, communicate it in a way that it exudes value. So you want to say, oh, I've done community growth and engagement. So when they ask you, oh, how were you able to do this? I managed a WhatsApp group of over 300 students, giving them timely updates, timely communication, answering queries on time, liaising with lecturers, communicating feedback from lecturers to my classmates. These are real things. These are real problems you were solving as a student. You were not being paid. You were doing it. Some of you have even volunteered, with NGOs and all that. These are stuff that you want to put, in your CV to communicate value, to communicate that you have something to bring to the table. Okay. So next, we're going to be talking about the positioning triangle. I just told you that getting a job is really about positioning. It's about packaging yourself in the right way. Whether you've done it before, whether you've not done it before, we are saying that positioning is very, very important. But looking at this position triangle, I want you to understand that the best approach is you starting from the standpoint of getting the right skill. And this one is something that starts from a place of deep reflection. Listen, you studied yourself, over the years, and you discover that, you like working with people, you like chatting with people, you like making new friends, you like, interacting, you like getting feedbacks, you like interviewing folks, you're this happy kind of person, you're an extrovert and stuff like that. In fact, you've already started doing some stuff on TikTok. This is real skill. This is real skill. So you want to take something in the line of content creation, digital marketing, so you want to upgrade yourself by getting the right skill that will make you employable. Is that right? So the foundational capability to perform the job, this is what most people focus on building. You have to focus on building the right skill. If you want to be hired without an experience, you need the right skill. So when we talk about being hired even without an experience, that doesn't mean that you're just coming blank, you don't have anything to offer. No, you have developed the right skill. So you want to learn video editing, that if you're going into content creation, of course. You want to learn, industry relevant tools. You want to know about how to, get the right keywords, SEO, how to write copy, that engage, how to attract attention grabbing, how to hook your audience and all that. These are important information and important skills that you are going to communicate both in your CV and your interview, such that even if you've never done a real job, you are able to showcase that I have this skill, and the next thing is proof. So you don't just gain the skill, you don't just gain the certifications, You don't just learn how to watch YouTube videos or a paid certification course on content creation and digital marketing. You also have proof. So proof is you are going to keep real real storage of all these things, real portfolio of all these skills, how you're able to deliver real results. So you can even start by volunteering, look for a business and create an Instagram page for them. Start posting for them, create engagement, build that Instagram page. That is your portfolio and that is your real evidence of solving a real life problem by generating more sales for a real business using the skill that you have obtained. So getting hired without experience, quote and unquote, may sound enticing to you, but you still have to put in the work. You must gain the right skill and you must have evidence. Cho cannot do this. You must show workings. Essentially, that's what we're saying. So the next point in the positioning triangle is proximity. Be visible. Connect with the right people. Look for companies, look for opportunities. If you are coming without experience, it may be tougher for you. That's if you are also not playing this third part of the triangle called proximity. I told you earlier that for you to get proof, you might actually have to do a free job, volunteer for a business, volunteer in your church, in your mosque, volunteer for your friend, volunteer for anybody. Just make sure you're solving a real problem with the skill that you just developed. You might be interested in data analysis, product management, content creation, whatever it is that you know that is in vogue, and not just in vogue, but is in line with what you can do. The content creation example I gave to you, I told you that, oh, you've observed yourself that this is something I will enjoy doing, and not just enjoy doing it, I will also make money from it. Then you upgrade yourself, get certification course on it, then you build proof. This is how to get hired without experience. This positioning triangle is something that you want to take very, very, very important. You start with getting the right skill, building proof, and proximity. I'd like to share a short story for myself. Before graduating, I started writing for companies, and the way I started was very funny. I had a deep reflection and I thought about it. I mean, I love writing right from time. Sometimes you just see me scribbling, and before you know it, I've written 2 3 pages just from the top of my head. And how did this writing thing start? I used to be someone that loved reading. In fact, I still read a lot. So I read a lot of novels as a secondary school student. That's what I do on my breaks. I pack books, big novels, adventure stories, and all that. I didn't know that reading those books helped me to build my world bank. So I was, my imagination, my thinking capability, all these things were well developed. So when I discovered that, some of my friends were making money as freelancers, that was when Fiverr, Upwork, and the likes came into limelight several years ago, and I saw that, these guys are actually making money. I didn't even know how to open or create accounts from all those sites. I went to meet them. Oh, I can write. I sold myself to them. I started pitching myself. One of my friends helped me to open an Upwork account. That was how I got my first international gig. I think that was about $30 or $40. As far back as 20. That's several years ago. So, and that's how the journey started, because I had a deep reflection. I thought about it. I can do this. So I started reading about how to write, how to do search engine optimization, how to do keywords, how to format your document, how to create blog posts, all those stuffs. I read a lot of things. I didn't even have money to pay for a course. So I'm not saying you might not even have the money to pay for a course, but there are a lot of free things that you can check online. There's YouTube there, there's Google is there, and now there's even AI. ChatGPT can teach you many things. There wasn't even AI when I started writing, you know. So I had to learn about the industry tools, the tools that I can use, how to use Grammarly, how to use, how to format my work, how to remove plagiarism, all those stuffs. I had to learn all those things. I built proof by working for my friend. So my friend got an international gig from from a client online. He then outsourced the job to me. I wrote I wrote that particular article. I think there were about four. I was paid maybe 4,000 euros, so I can't even remember. But thinking about it now, I was very excited. I'd never earned money. I mean, all I had to do was just carry my laptop to the school library. I worked overnight and I got paid in the next maybe few days, or maybe after 1 or 2 weeks. I got paid and I was like, wow, so I can really do this. Okay. So I went on in. And thinking back in retrospect, I've made quite a lot of money as a writer. Even if that's not what I'm currently doing now, I'm just giving you this example that this positioning triangle can be a game changer for you. When you gain the skill, you also have the proof. Please don't keep quiet. Proximity also has to do with word of mouth. You want to let people know that this is what you are into, this is what you are doing, this is what you want to focus on, this is what you want to make money from. You're not going to keep quiet about it. Post about it, write on LinkedIn, tell people about it, communicate about it. You are also, when you're building your proof, ask people to go and engage on those posts. Ask people to like the post for you. You want to become visible. And the interesting thing about this is that the moment I started writing for that my friend, the word spread such that other colleagues that were having overflow of writing gigs, they started contacting me. I didn't even have to tell them that, oh, I'm a writer. They started contacting me. Oh, we heard that you can do this. We heard you can write. Are you free? That was how I started getting gigs upon gigs upon gigs upon gigs upon gigs, from some of my friends, before I now started getting my own direct clients and all that. The positioning triangle is very effective, and I must tell you, this can change your life in a minute. It's going to take a lot of hard work. You will not get it right immediately. You might make mistakes, but you want to go all in. All right. So, having said that, we are also going to continue in the same line of thoughts by saying you want to build proof before employment. I think I've already spoken about this already, but just to give you an example of how you can build proof. You don't need permission to gain experience. Even when you don't have a job, you want to start working on case studies, simulate projects, volunteer, go out there. Look for startups, non-profit organization, pitch yourself to them. You are not looking for money. When you want to build proof, you are not all about the money. You are all about, I want to practice this skill that I have learned in using a real life situation, using a real life challenge, using a real life problem. One thing I must also put a disclaimer: you don't want to volunteer for too long. Okay, so the moment you discover that, oh, I've been able to build enough proof, package that proof and position it as your experience to get a paid job. Because the truth is that people like free things and they might not want to let you go. On the flip side, if you actually show a lot of value in this place where you are doing it for free, they might actually eventually start paying you, especially when they start seeing results from what you are doing. They might eventually start paying you. So you want to do it with a lot of dedication, even if you start out without pay. So this particular slides just speaks to how you can actually gain experience. You want to go into product management, for example, start writing case studies. You don't need a real life job for you to work on case studies. Pick a product, analyze the product, talk about it on LinkedIn, go on Notion, create stuffs, man, post about it, make noise about it, create real scenarios. You are a data analyst, look for free, open source data all around online, analyze, do data visualizations, upload it on LinkedIn. You can even do a video walkthrough, a short video walkthrough explaining the problem that you were able to solve, how you extracted data, how you analyzed and filtered the data, how you cleaned the data, how you created data visualization and insights that you can generate from the data. Do this short video, upload it everywhere. This is how you not only build proof, but you also get proximity. The more visibility you get, the closer you are to your dream job. Okay, so never forget the positioning triangle: the skill, the proof, and the proximity. All these three things work together. Don't just focus on gaining skills. Some of you have been learning. You've taken like 10 different courses. You have not built proof. You are not even building proximity. You are not doing it right. Okay. So on to the next. We also want to talk about practical proofs by fields. I've already spoken about this already. If you are into data, analyze public data sets. Use Kaggle, government data, company reports. They are open source. They are available online. Just Google it. Create dashboards. Publish the insights. So easy. If you are going into marketing, digital marketing, stuff like that, run small campaign. Look for a business, run small campaign. Go and meet somebody that, this person is not visible online. You can tell them, I can help you to increase your sales by 20x. Run a small Instagram campaign for them. Track the growth metrics. Break down the successful ads. Build this as your proof. If you are into products, write product proposals. Suggest improvements for the ads. Conduct user research. Build product specifications. So all these things, these are the ways that you can actually build proof. These are the ways that you can actually build proof. And when you are also building proof, you don't just build proof. How you communicate it in your CV and during your interview is also very, very important. So you cannot just say, I'm responsible for managing records. Perhaps maybe during your NYSC, you worked in a hospital as a documentation or record management officer. You say I was responsible for managing records. No, what you want to say is I organized and digitized over 200 records, reducing retrieval time by 60%. If you are an employer, who will you hire? Someone that wrote this, responsible for managing records, or someone that wrote this, organized, digitized? So as you are building your proof, you also want to present it in a way that it communicates value. So when you do what is written on this slide, regardless of the area that you want to pivot into, regardless of the area where you want to start working, these are like the popular areas where people are actually going into now. I'm not preaching any area to you. Like I said, getting a skill starts from a place of deep reflection. Analyze yourself. What is my talent? What am I good at? And what do I enjoy doing? Some of us like numbers. You are good with numbers. You like to analyze things and all that. You probably thrive in data. If you are the yappy kind of person, you like making sales. In fact, you've already started running business and all that. Go into marketing. You enjoy doing it. If you're a problem solver, you like out. When you see a problem, you like procuring solution, go into products where you start building products for people. So when you get the right skill and you build the right proof, communicating it in your CV is another ball game. And that is what we just talked about. So you don't just say, oh, I was responsible for this. Nobody cares about the task that you did. People care about the achievement. I'm going to say that again. Nobody cares about the task that you do. Your employer cares about the achievement. So you were managing records. What did you achieve by managing records? That is what you want to communicate to your employer. Hope that's clear. So you want to say, oh, I organized and digitized 200 plus records, reducing retrieval time by 60%. This is a game changer. So the strategic application approach. Now that you've gained the skills, you are already building your proof, putting yourself out there, creating visibility, and getting that proximity that is needed. There's an application approach that can help you to get your dream job faster than you can ever imagine. So the number of applications is not really what matters, but how you are able to strategically apply to the right job. And this particular strategy we're going to talk about here is something that many people might not know about, and even if they know about it, they are too lazy to implement it. And this strategy is simply tailoring your CV to each job description. Tailoring your CV to each job description. Don't ever be tempted to use one CV for all job description. So even if all of them says data analyst, for example, you're interested in data analysis, don't ever be tempted to apply to over 50 jobs or over 10 jobs. In fact, don't apply to 2 jobs with the same CV. This strategy is a game changer. It might be a lot more tasking for you, but it's going to help you to achieve faster results. So all you want to do is to target few companies, understand their structure, identify their problem, then apply strategically to their needs. In fact, you might want to take it a step further. You want to reach out to the hiring manager on LinkedIn. Exactly. So applying for jobs is not really about the volume, but about the smartness that you put into it. This is talking about quality over quantity. Don't be tempted to apply for several jobs with just one CV. That's a lazy man's approach, and it will not work. You might get few interviews, but it's just not the best strategy. Exactly. So how do you find jobs? Or you can find jobs on LinkedIn. And don't be tempted to just click on easy apply. When you click on easy apply, you are just putting yourself in the same category as others. Chat up the hiring manager on LinkedIn. Go to the company's website and apply directly to the job from the company's website. Now, how do you tailor your CV to each job description? I have another separate course on that, very affordable, but this particular course speaks to how you can tailor your CV to each job description, and all of these things can be done both manually or even using AI. In split seconds, you're going to get a well formatted CV that you can use to apply to different companies. Now, this CV, You tailor it to the specific job that you are applying to. And why is this important? This is important because in today's job economy, hiring managers no longer have the time. They don't have the luxury of time to read through your CV one by one. So all they do is to pass all applicants' CV through a system that is called the applicant tracking system. This software tracks your CV for specific keywords, and the keywords that they train their software with will be the same keywords that they put in their job description. So, for example, in their job description, they say, "Oh, we need someone with experience with customer experience," something like that. But in your own CV, you wrote user experience. Those two things might mean something similar, customer experience and user experience. But because you use the word user experience, the system might not see you. The system might not capture your CV. As little as that keyword is customer and user, you must be specific and you must use the same keywords that is in your employer's job description. Alright, so this strategy is a game changer. Tailoring each CV to each job description. Very powerful strategy that you want to make use of. Alright, so in the previous slides, we've been directing our focus on fresh graduates, early school leavers who want to position themselves. You are starting from ground zero. You just left school, but you've been skilling. You've started building skills, or even if you've not even built any skill, you can still start now to start building skills using the positioning and triangle, and give yourself a time frame that you want to achieve the right result. So probably you just left school, you may also start thinking about getting that required skills that you need to start making good money. So this next section, we want to talk to the career switchers, and what we want to communicate here is that you don't need to start from zero. In fact, you are not actually starting from zero, and essentially we want to say that your transferable skills is an advantage. So for example, you've worked the past 5 years as a teacher, and you want to now move into tech or something. You have transferable skills that will help you to position yourself in a very great way to your employer. Alright, so these skills that is on this particular slide, as you are seeing on the screen, are essential skills that most jobs actually value. And if you also work in a structured environment, you likely have most of these skills already. Communication skill is an industry value skill that almost all jobs require it. Data handling, stakeholder management, documentation, process improvement, negotiation analysis, and problem solving. Alright, so now let's talk about the bridge method. You don't want to say, "Oh, I'm moving into product management," or "I'm going into software development." See, I've said it earlier in this video. Positioning and packaging is very important. You don't want to sound weak or sound pitiable. No, you want to say, "I've worked cross-functionally and solved customer issues. I am applying that problem solving to product execution." I'm applying that problem solving to problem execution. So when speaking during an interview, you don't want to position yourself from the standpoint of, "Oh, I'm just making a transition." You are going to speak from the standpoint of, "I've done something similar before. Hence, I can continually do something similar in this new role. I hope that's clear. All right. So, transformation stories and repositioning examples. So, let's look at some of these skills. These transitions that may not be so common, but might also fortunately fit into what you are looking at. So, for example, you're a teacher, you want to now move into HR or leadership and development. So that's moving from the education sector to the corporate sector. You were creating lesson plans as a teacher. This is how you want to communicate it. You say you design structured training programs. You don't say in your CV, I created lesson plan. That will not communicate that value that you want to communicate. And the interesting thing about this is that as an HR person, you will likely need to do this because in most organizations, the HR is also responsible for training the staff. So your creation of lesson plans for your students is a transferable skill that you want to communicate that, oh, now that I'm HR certified and I want to move into the HR space, you are not saying I want to move into to your employer. I'm explaining the scenario to you that, oh, you are now HR certified, you want to move into HR. What you are communicating is not that you created lesson plans, but you created and designed structured training programs. And if remember the structure that we also spoke to, that nobody also cares about the task. Nobody cares about the task. So this transformation story, if you want to write it in your CV, you have to make it an achievement that is measurable. So you want to say, oh, I created 20 plus structured training programs for over 50 students, which led to 50% improvement in performance. Measurable. This speaks volumes about the value that you were able to bring in your former job. All right, so let's move to the next. Managing classrooms. You want to speak to how I managed group engagement, evaluating students. Oh, I assessed performance outcomes. Let's say you're a nurse or a doctor, pharmacist, you want to go into data or even health tech. That's moving from clinical to analytical. Reviewing prescriptions. Oh, I interpreted medical data. That's actually what you were doing. You're interpreting data. Prescriptions involve analysis of data. Patient counseling. You deliver data-informed insights. From analyzing test results, interpreting prescriptions, you then extract insight from all this data and communicate it by counseling your patients. That is delivering informed insights to your patients. So your repositioning must be very strategic if you are switching careers. And some of you might not even know that all these things are linkable. They are actually linkable. If you have an issue, if you are probably moving from one career to another, you can contact me. We can work on your CV together and prep you for your interview. We'll teach you how you want to communicate value, from your previous role to the new role that you are moving into without lying. It's all about repositioning. It's all about creating a new transformation story. You were doing documentation. Now you want to relate it to a data role. You say, oh, I maintained high accuracy documentation. And that is what you need in a data role. Your data must be clean. Exactly. So if you're talking about banking, as a banker, you want to move into tech, maybe into product management and all that. Oh, you're managing customer accounts. You identify operational inefficiencies. You're monitoring transactions. You evaluated financial risk patterns, risk management, improving service outcomes. The same experience, but higher value narrative. This will move you from level from level 5 to 1000. Remember, as a career switcher, you're not starting from zero. You're not a fresh graduate. You have already delivered real value in your former line of job. Now you're moving into another area. You have already, done the positioning triangle aspects. Now we are talking about how you can reposition yourself. How you can reposition yourself, to your new employer. I started this particular webinar by talking about the fact that gaining employment is all about a risk assessment. And so you must be able to effectively communicate the value that you are bringing to the table. You don't want your employer to contemplate that, if we hire this person, will this person do the job? Will this person be able to? Because the truth is that all organizations want to be profitable, except you're working as a volunteer or maybe a non-profit. But even non-profits also have KPIs. They have milestones. They have things that they want to achieve. So even if their own achievables or what they want to achieve is not in terms of naira and kobo or in USD or whatever currency you may be spending in your country, we also need to come from the standpoint of delivering value. So again, if you're a career switcher, please build proof. Build proof. So how do you build proof? Take relevant certifications. So if you get our course, you also get a free walkthrough video on how you can get 90% off Coursera. I personally, I have never paid for a Coursera course. I started using Coursera over half a decade ago. So there was a time where Coursera used to be, you can get Coursera course 100% off. But right now, they've reduced it to 90%. So for example, if the cost is 50 USD, all you end up paying is going to be 5 USD to get the certificate. Very easy. Very, very easy. So we have a walkthrough video. Now you can do that. Udemy. There are ways you can get Udemy courses for free, 100% off. So money is not going to be a problem for you. Get relevant certifications. You don't just say, I want to move into something, I want to transition into this role. You must get certified, because these are the things you also want to use to improve the weight of your CV. So this also speaks to our positioning triangle, how you gain the right skills, then you move on to creating proof. Please, 2 to 3 portfolio projects, regardless of area where you want to move into. You're moving from being a doctor to being a data analyst. Build portfolio projects. Use data, open source data. They are available online. Create projects. These are the things that you will showcase to your employer. I've done it before, or I've done something similar before. So as much as you want to use your previous role to reposition yourself as a valuable person in your new role, you also want to build real projects. Okay, you also want to build real projects. Then remember proximity. Publish insights online. Volunteer in related roles. Complete case studies. All these things are ways that you can close the trust gap. Because your employer wants to trust you. Can this person deliver? And these are the ways that you can show the proof to your employer. Alright. So when also positioning yourself perhaps on LinkedIn, you don't say aspiring data analyst. After doing all these things, you are already a data analyst. Even if you've never been paid as a data analyst, you are no longer aspiring. You have proof. You have projects to show. So you want to communicate credibility. You want to speak with confidence, even by positioning yourself online. Many people, you see their LinkedIn aspiring. You're not aspiring. I mean, you already have 5 years experience in another field. You're only repositioning yourself, and you've gained the right skills. You've also gained proof. please, to build proximity, credibility is an important key. Credibility is an important key. You must be confident. The moment a recruiter sees aspiring data analyst, they will think this person is, they will not even likely be attracted to you. They will likely not be attracted to you. But look at this transformation we wrote here. Data analyst, background in healthcare operations. As a matter of fact, if you want to make it open, you might even not put this background, or perhaps you are interested in working as data analyst in the health niche, then you want to, of course, put this. Maybe you want to work in an health tech, you want to work in an HMO, you want to work with health insurance and all that as a data analyst. This is fantastic for you. Okay, it is fantastic for you. All right. So this particular slide, we're going to talk about how you position yourself during an interview. During an interview. And all you have to do is to use the STAR plus HEL framework. I'm sure some of you already know: situation, task, action, results, and lesson. And you want to also read more about this, about the STAR framework. You start with the situation, where you were in your former job, or maybe when you were also working on your portfolio project, and your role, which is the task. Then what action did you take? And the action you took, what results did it yield? Then finally, you also want to end it with the lesson that you learned from that scenario. So when they speak to you, when your recruiter is asking you, do you have an experience in this area? Oh, have you done exploratory data analysis before? You want to communicate with confidence, even if you've not done it before in real life. You say, why I haven't held this exact title. I've handled similar responsibilities where, that's where our repositioning statements come in. Remember the slide where we were talking about how to reposition yourself? You can say, where I designed structured training programs, where I interpreted medical data and was able to deliver informed insights that led to 30% reduction in mortality rate in my hospital. Is that not powerful? Is that not powerful? Is that not powerful? So please, this advanced positioning strategies is all about you removing uncertainty in the mind of your employer. Remove it. Don't sound unsure. Come ready. Whether you've done the job or not, come ready with proofs, with evidence, and with confidence. You are not an aspirant, you are not an aspirant. You are an experienced data analyst, even if you've never held the title before. Even if you've never held the title before. As we round up in this webinar, I would like to show you this 90 days positioning plan. Remember our positioning triangle. We said you have to build a skill. And so in your first month, for some of you, depending on the type of skill that you want to develop, you might need more than 1 month, or just go at your pace. But it's always good to give yourself targets and timeline. Okay, so learn a skill. Like I said, there are free or almost free courses online on Coursera, Udemy. YouTube is there. There are also paid courses if you can afford it. Paid courses are structured. In fact, most of the time, the paid courses also save you time and stress. Some of these paid courses also have projects that you can build to help you build your proof. Okay, so you want to go for paid courses. If you can afford it, go for paid courses. Document everything that you do. You can start posting about it on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on Medium, Substack. Create a blog. Just talk about it. Let people know that this is what you are doing. Then in the second month, depending on your own particular um, timeline, you want to optimize your CV. That's another game changer on its own. I don't have all the time to talk about that, but there are CV optimization services all around. You can also contact us if you want this service. Publish your proof. Remember, publish your proof online, then start targeted outreach. Then in your final months, apply strategically. Remember, we spoke about how to apply strategically. When you see a job on LinkedIn, chat up the hiring manager, go to their website to apply directly. Request for referrals. You see a job online, or you find a company that you wish to work with, go to their company page on LinkedIn, look for their employees. Go to the employee section on that company LinkedIn page. Start connecting with top decision makers, or maybe individuals that are already doing what you are doing there. You can message them and ask for referrals. Build a relationship before asking for referrals. You can just build this. Oh, I want to connect with you. I see what you are doing in this company, blah blah blah. I'd just like to learn from you, or just to connect with you on the professional level. Just build a rapport with them, comment on their post, like their post, and after some time you can chip it in. Oh, I'll be glad if there's an opening in your organization. I'll appreciate your referral. And remember, during your interview, your positioning is very, very, very vital. How you communicate, how you position yourself is very important. Don't say, I can't do it. Don't say, I've not done it before. And that's why we're talking about you building your proof before you start applying for jobs. Is that clear? All right. So, on the final note, we want to say that start building and upskilling today. We have a job readiness course, contains CV templates, fillable CV templates, fillable cover letter templates. We also have video walkthroughs on how you can tailor each CVs to each job. How you can tailor each CV to each job. How you can get your CV to be ATS compliant, and then video walkthroughs on how you can get 90% off Coursera premium courses and 100% free Udemy courses. Remember, the market only rewards clarity, evidence, visibility, and reduced risks. Send us a message today and you'll be glad you did. But I'm sure even with all the information I will share today, you are good to go to start a journey towards getting your job without an actual job experience. Cheers. See you on the other side. In fact, see you at the top.